Leveling up. Extreme business growth through raising your game. When what was once extraordinary becomes ordinary, you know you've leveled up.
Hi, this is George Swift from Bigger, Brighter, Bolder, and welcome to the Leveling Up Podcast. The Leveling Up Podcast is here to give you the personal development, the entrepreneurial development, and the business growth that you, the ambitious business owner, desires. I'm here to give you the inspiration, the motivation, but above all else, to challenge your aspirations to take you and your business to the next level. Don't forget, subscribe to this podcast and never miss an episode. And in today's episode, we are talking about Mojo. Maybe you've lost your Mojo. Maybe it's not lost entirely. Maybe you just misplaced it short term. It happens to the best of us. I'll be honest with you. I've been in business now, this current business, Bigger, Brighter, Bolder, must be getting on for nearly 12 years, I think. Certainly over 11 years. And you know what? I haven't always been 100% fully engaged, fully motivated. I haven't always been completely madly in love with my business. It happens. Even the strongest relationships, the ones that are built around the deepest of love, it's still possible for us to fall out of love just short-term, temporarily, or just to lose our way with things. I'm not talking about our own personal relationships, but I'll be honest with you, it's the same thing. You know, to expect to be in love every minute of every day like you were at the beginning, completely infatuated, obsessed, completely and utterly delusionally connected to that thing or that other person. The truth of the matter is, as you go into longer term relationships, whether they're the relationship with your business or the relationship with your wife or your partner, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever it might be, the bottom line is this. As you go through the years, through time, through challenging times, it's not always possible to have that mad infatuation that you might have had at the beginning. It's not even necessarily about maintaining that degree of infatuation or that utter lust that you might have for your business or your partner for that matter at the beginning. It's about allowing the relationship to evolve over time, something much, much deeper that's based on commitments, that's based on focuses, promises. You know, it's not about waking up and feeling madly, passionately in love with your wife every single day. It's about more of a deep-rooted commitment to your wife to always try and bring your best. And when your best isn't good enough, to go away and work on your best. It's about not jumping ship just because things get hard or times are hard. It's not about the first problem you face. You know what? Fuck this off. I'm going to go off and find something better. It's the same thing with your business. It's illusional, delusional. It's a dream, a fantasy to think that you're going to be in love with your business every single day of your life and every single day of its incorporation. It's just not likely to be the case for you. I've been in love with my business the whole time. I've never fallen out of deep-rooted, committed love that I have for my business. But sometimes, you know what, my passion wanes. I lose sight of my purpose. I lose sight of why I'm doing what I'm doing, why am I working so hard, why am I putting myself out there, especially if it's not working, if you're going through really challenging times and you're going through a bit of a losing streak, or if you're facing criticism or judgment. It can be really hard to maintain that high level of mojo. I want to share with you just one thing you can do to help regain that mojo, get yourself back in the love of your business. And today I want to talk to you about stopping counting. This comes from a true story from a previous client of mine many years ago. He was a young lad, a very promising professional golfer, and he committed, huge amounts of his life to this. He was only, in his early 20s, something, maybe even younger, like 19, when I was coaching this guy. And the truth of the matter is, he just fell out of love with the sport. He was getting worse and worse. Every time he went out there, he wasn't playing his best. In fact, he was playing worse seemingly almost every game. He started to hate it, resent it. He felt incredibly pressured by it because obviously he'd committed, 10, 12 years of his life to it already. He'd committed a lot of time and energy. His parents had committed a huge amount of financial investment in his future. So he felt obligated to play the game. He felt obligated that he'd go and become a professional golfer, to himself and also to his parents, and all the expectations of everyone in the family, his friends. Just, you can imagine someone that talented, that young, having played the game and it being such a massive part of his life for so long. You can imagine it's not an easy thing to walk away from, but that's exactly where he was when I started working with him. And the truth of the matter was, he just lost his mojo. He just lost the love of the game. And I listened to this guy probably for about 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes. And he was airing all of these concerns and worries. And this guy was, really frustrated and in tension. And he wanted to get out of the game, didn't want to play it anymore, felt like he had to do it, felt trapped by it. Equally, didn't like the idea of not playing the game, something that had been such a massive part of his life and his future as he saw it. So he's in this really frustrated position where he was under a lot of tension, from outside himself and from within himself. And we just unpicked it. And I listened to this guy for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, something like that. And I just said to him, you know what? I said, stop counting. He was like, what do you mean? I said, look, golf, it's all about numbers. It's all about the counting. The whole thing only really exists around the counting, right? You want to get a less score than you got last time, or a less score on this round than you've done before. You want to get a less score than the person you're playing against. You're counting the number of swings you have. You're counting each hole. You're counting your overall score. You're counting your handicap. I said, just for a bit, go out there, until I see you next time, just play, don't count. I said, as soon as your brain starts trying to count the number of swings, I said, stop counting. Don't take a piece of paper. Don't take that little pencil with you. Just stop counting. Go out there and just play the game. No expectation. I'm not going to say go out and enjoy it. I'm not saying go out there and do anything particular. Just stop counting for the next week, 2 weeks, and then we'll speak again. So he went away and he did exactly that. And he came back and literally within a week or 2 weeks, he was already starting to find the love for the game. And he was a bit bemused by this because this problem had been going on for him for many months. And I said, it's really simple. I said, it all got too serious. When you first started playing the game, it was just a game. You enjoyed golf, right? He said, yeah, I enjoyed golf. I said, I don't think you've lost your enjoyment for golf. I don't think you've lost your enjoyment for walking around a golf course, hitting the ball, swinging the ball, going for a nice little walk. I don't think you've lost any of that. I think what's happened is it's just got all really serious. You're at the age now where everyone's expecting you to go pro. Everyone's expecting you to commit your life to this. Everyone's expecting you to win because you've been winning your whole life. You're scared. There's a lot of anxiety around it. It's all got really serious. I said, by stopping counting, just stopping the counting and just enjoying each swing of the golf ball, just enjoying each putt, each drive, each pitch, just enjoying the game as the game that it is enough to show you that you're still in love with the game. As in, if you're still in love with the game, you haven't lost your mojo. And I've used this analogy many times with business owners as well. It's the same thing, to run a successful business, we have to do all the serious stuff, the grown-up stuff. I'm getting my members and getting them to, look at their sales processes, and we're getting them to monitor their performances, and they've got to measure their funnel, and they've got to, measure the whole performance of their business. You're counting the numbers in terms of the finances, the profitability. You're constantly doing grown-up stuff in your business, and that's not why you set your business up. And a big part of what is becoming a successful business owner is about taking on those mature aspects of business, not just doing it because you love it or doing it because it's fun, or not even just doing it because it's purposeful and meaningful or because it's doing some higher cause. They're all great things, all motivational things. They help you stay in the game. But fundamentally, that's not what creates a successful business. We have to do some of the boring stuff. And I get it, it's not boring for everybody. But for many of us, some of the boring stuff, the laborious stuff, the grown-up stuff, the serious stuff. We have to do that as well in order to create successful businesses and in order to scale our business. But it can take away some of the fun. And if we lose the fun of the game, if we lose the fun of the business, it can start to feel like hard work. And if we're going through times like we're going through right now collectively as entrepreneurs and business owners, it can be quite oppressive. We're out there, we're fighting, we're doing what we need to do. There's a lot of negativity, a lot of bad news out there. You might be struggling a little bit yourself. You may just find it a little bit tougher to win business or to deliver business. Maybe you've had to change how you do your business, change how you win business, how you sell, change your systems and processes because of all the restrictions that have been placed upon us. It's possible that you've had to do a lot of serious grown-up stuff over the last 6 months and you've maybe not connected with the fun stuff. So whilst it's really important that we do the counting in business, absolutely essential if you want to have a successful business and if you want to have a viable business, and especially if you want to grow your business, you're going to have to do the counting. But you know what? If you're really struggling to be motivated, struggling to find the joy in what you're doing, then just stop counting for a little bit. Stop counting just for a while, right? I don't mean for months or years. You cause yourself all kinds of problems. Maybe just for a week, you stop counting. Make sure that you're not doing anything silly. Make sure that the money's in the bank. Make sure that you're not setting yourself up for something here. But as long as you're in a relatively stable position, you're okay. Just stop counting. Don't look at the numbers, the finances, the economics for a week or so. Don't look at your marketing results for a while. If you're there and you're doing your marketing, your content strategy, it kills that passion when all you're doing is monitoring the numbers and the success rates and the open rates of your emails and the read rates of your text messages. It's all good stuff. It's all stuff that we have to do. And it's all grown up and serious stuff. But guess what? If you add that to a slightly depressed economy, in terms of emotionally depressed, a very financially depressed economy in terms of the economics of the economy, it can start to get a bit heavy, a bit draining, a bit tiring, and it can start to not be fun anymore. And that's when you lose your mojo, your motivation, you'll lose your focus, your discipline. It just becomes exhausting, hard work. It will knock it into your personal life as well. You'll be a miserable bastard to be around, and you'll start to question yourself. You maybe start to question the business. You'll start to question yourself and your performance. You'll start to question everything. And from that place, it's only one step away from the unconscious mind saying to you, directly, indirectly, literally like this, or in some other metaphorical way, the words will come, which are, what's the point? And the moment you feel what's the point is the moment that your unconscious brain will pull the plug on all of your motivation. Now you're going to be fighting yourself. This is when you have to fight yourself to get out of bed in the morning, fight yourself to get on the phone or get on email, fight yourself to go networking, fight yourself to go out and do sales activity, fight yourself to even go out there and deliver, whether that's products or services. Now, it's important that we're driven, disciplined, committed. It's important that we continue to do what we need to do consistently, even when we don't want to do it. That's how winning is done. We can't be massively motivated all the time. But if you're really starting to feel that your mojo's going, if you're really starting to feel like you're falling out of love with what you're doing, then, what's the point in doing what you're doing? And if your brain gives you that messaging, what's the point in even doing what we're doing? You are literally one step away from pulling the plug or having the plug pulled on all of your motivation completely. And you may give up on something that you didn't need to give up on. Just like the marriage that breaks down because they didn't have the conversations they needed to have. They didn't fight for what they had. Just like the business that was folded because the business owner just hated it, fell out of love with it, didn't see the point anymore, when they could have fallen back in love with their businesses. They could have fallen back in love with their partners. You made a long-term commitment to your business when you launched it, and you owe it to your business and to yourself to see it through the hard times, the tough times, the challenging times. The days you don't fall madly in love with it or don't feel madly in love with it, you're still committed to it. You're still committed to the process, the idea, the dream, the vision of what that relationship stands for. Now, I keep using the analogy of personal relationships because for me, it lends itself very neatly to this. But today I'm specifically talking about the relationship with you and your business. Could be the relationship between you and your customer, between you and maybe some of your staff members. So just like the golfer, if it's all got a little bit serious, if there's a lot of pressure, a lot of expectations on you, if you're feeling trapped, if you're feeling like you just don't love it anymore, then maybe just for a short period of time, just for a couple of games, you stop counting. You stop worrying about the numbers. Maybe you just make sure that you've got things in place to make sure you're safeguarded and protected, make sure you're aware enough of what you need to be aware of so that you don't come back in a week or whatever after a few games to come back and find out that all kinds of things have happened. You'll make sure that you're protected. But for most of you, there's no question that the chances are you could stop counting for a week or so and it wouldn't make any real difference to your business. And even if you have to do a little bit of counting, maybe you don't need to do quite all the counting that you're currently doing. Get the fun back in the game. Just enjoy swinging the club. Enjoy going for the walk. Enjoy hitting the ball. Enjoy the satisfaction of that little ball going down that little hole. Enjoy being with the people that you're with. And maybe just like my golfer, it will only take a week or so to find that mojo. Maybe it will take a week or so, maybe not to fall madly back in love with your business, but maybe to show you that you do actually still fundamentally enjoy the game. And from that place there, of course, now you can start to be more optimistic. And that optimism starts to breed more positivity. And it might not be that long until you find yourself firing on all cylinders again. So that's one way. There's 100 different reasons why you might lose your mojo, and there might be as many ways of regaining your mojo. But maybe if this resonates with you, if this connects with you at a certain level where you feel it's all got a little bit serious, all got a little bit heavy, all got a little bit grown up, a little bit, business, and a little bit less about the fun and the passion and the purpose and just playing the game, maybe just stop counting for a little while. I'm just saying, a few days, a week, maybe a couple of weeks. Just enjoy doing what it is that you do again. Just strip back some of that other stuff. Get your mojo firing. There's plenty of time to come back to the serious business stuff later. You don't have to be serious all the time. There's serious things we need to do in business. There's grown-up things we need to do to create successful businesses. But we must remember to enjoy the game as well. I've said this many times before. I've said it on this podcast before. We will pay a lot of money for things that we derive pleasure from and fun from and enjoyment from. Whether it's holidays, skiing trips, or gadgets or gizmos, we pay a fortune to have pleasurable experiences, to have fun, and to enjoy our life. Imagine if you could enjoy your business. Imagine you could have the fun in your business, the pleasure in your business. You're not paying fortunes, you're getting paid potentially fortunes to have that fun. It is the holy grail of being in business. To love what you're doing, to enjoy what you're doing, to be madly passionate and meaningful about what you're doing, to love your clients, love what your clients do, to feel purposeful about what you're doing for your clients and what your clients are doing for the wider population. It's all about making sure that you have the fulfilled experience of running your business whilst also growing a successful business. Without the fun, the pleasure, without that, it's just a slog, it's just hard work. And to be honest with you, no matter how successful you are, it doesn't pay enough. You want to make sure that you're vibing. You want to make sure that you are absolutely positively connected with your business, with what you're doing as much as humanly possible. Best will in the world with best intentions. Some days it's just not going to be there. You may find those days start to become weeks. Those weeks can become months. And if it goes on too long, just like the marriage, inevitably it will break down. You'll lose something that was really important to you. And the chances are you didn't have to go down that route. You could have had an intervention if you just got back to the fun, the play, the passion, the lust. Get back to that stuff. Leave some of the grown-up stuff to one side just for a short period of time. Get your game back on track. Find your passion, find your mojo, find your motivation. And if you do that, you will last the long game. In your personal life, that's a freebie for you, but specifically in your business life. Nice one. Thank you for listening. A little bit of free marriage counselling thrown in there for you in today's session. It's so important to make sure that you enjoy your life, enjoy what you're doing. It's so important that you enjoy everything as much as humanly possible. And that's not always possible. I get it. And that's what I'm trying to do in this episode, is give you one way of reconnecting with that love, that passion, that purpose, your mojo. If you are a small, ambitious business owner and you want to take your business to the next level, we have got a group that is perfect for you. At Bigger, Brighter, Bolder, our success groups help businesses just like yourself, whether they're from startup, getting going with the right foot forward and making sure that they are on the fast track to achieve the success that they want. Or maybe if you're a business owner and you're doing 30, 40, 50, 60K and you want to get your business to that 100K or more, from there, you can start to build the lifestyle you want. From there, you can also start to build the empire you want if that's what you choose. If you're already a business owner and you're doing over 100K revenue per year, whether it's 100, 200, 300, even 500K per year, and you want to massively improve that and scale your business over the next 12 months or more, again, we've got groups absolutely perfect for you. Success Groups has been going now for best part of nearly 9 years. Bigger, Brighter, Bolder has been going best part, as I said before in this podcast, maybe 11 to 11 and a half years, something like that, helping ambitious business owners just like yourself to stay in the game, to go the distance, to keep showing up and turning up, bringing their best, making sure they never ever give up, but also making sure that you get that absolute total fulfillment that is an offer to you as a business entrepreneur. You owe it to yourself, you owe it to your business, you owe it to the clients, you owe it to your future to make sure that you show up in the best possible way consistently over the long term, doing what you need to do day in, day out, tirelessly, to make sure that you create the future, the success, the business that you want. But I tell you now, it's all worth naught if you're not loving it, if you're not enjoying it. If you've lost your mojo, or you just want to go to the next level, then maybe just check us out, drop us a line and see how we might be able to help you take your business and yourself to the next level. You can go and check us out at biggerbrighterbolder.co.uk. I'll drop that link in the descriptions of this episode. Also, you'll find a whole load of resources there, depending on where you are currently in your business, to help you to take your business to the next level. And also, you'll see in the descriptions an email for Tracy Miller, my partner in life and in business, the Lucky Devil. And if you are interested potentially in joining us in one of our groups, or just exploring how we might be able to serve you better, then please feel free to drop her an email. And we would love potentially to see you in one of our groups in the very near future. Have an awesome weekend doing whatever it is that you are doing. I will see you on Monday when we do it all over again. Until then, as always, be successful.
Leveling up. Extreme business growth through raising your game. When what was once extraordinary becomes ordinary, you know you've leveled up.